And what's going on, everybody?
What's up?
Yo.
What's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Geeking Squad podcast. We are back. Woohoo!
Kick ass.
What's going on? I am one of your hosts. I am Larry Roberts. Down the hall, around the way, just hanging out, being smooth. It is none other than
Vito.
And then the lady of the night. She is.
I always wait to see what the fuck you're going to say.
She is standing there giving you looks. Is she luring you in to love you, or is she going to slit your throat?
I ain't telling. But my name's Megan Guess.
Yeah, we got Megan here. And we are here for episode 12. Episode 12. It's like, in a way, it feels amazing that we're at episode 12. And then the other way, it's sort of like, God, it feels like we've been doing this so much longer.
It really does, yeah.
That's kind of how this year has been. It's like in some ways I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe the year is already like coming to an end.
Yeah, it was the fastest and the longest year ever.
Yeah.
Really
At the same
was.
time.
Really was, man.
I didn't think it was possible, but it is.
Yeah. So on this show, if you don't already know, you probably do know, but I'll say it anyway. The Geeking Squad podcast is based off of the Geeking Squad group on Facebook, which is run by the three of us. And we basically just post in there all fun stuff, no controversy, no fighting, no politics, none of that bull crap. We just post articles and memes and all sorts of stuff about geeky stuff we love. TV, movies, books, comics, funny, comedic, silly shit, polls, all sorts of things, you know. What's your favorite toy? What's your favorite movie? Blah, blah, blah. We do all that stuff in there, and then we come on this show, and every couple of weeks we talk about it.
Yep.
We feature some of the things that we thought was the most noteworthy.
Yeah, we post stuff and you guys post stuff.
Yeah, it's heavily reliant on all
You
of
guys.
you. So
You guys make this happen.
yeah.
This is all your fault.
Yeah. All y'all, we need you to go to the Facebook group called Geeking Squad. Look us up. It's free to join. And go in there. So if you're like, well, anything, even if you've got a podcast or you've got a blog or anything, if you've got stuff that's in that, we're not snobby about that. Post it in there, man. Share it with us because we want to know.
Yep.
So real quick, before we get into the thick of it, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing all right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, doing better.
Yeah, I'm just glad November's over with. So.
Yeah, November.
You survived it.
Yeah.
It's a
Was
hell
it
month.
November's Doom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's funny because obviously for those that don't know, Vito and I are in a band called November's Doom. November ended up being kind of a doomy month in a lot of ways.
yeah.
Although we did have a pizza named after us.
We did.
Yeah.
That lasted for like 2 weeks because of some circumstances, but that's the nature of our band.
Sure is. Yeah, there was a place in Chicago that made pizzas named after us and everything, and I didn't eat it because I can't eat
You would
that.
die.
Yeah.
I wish I had eaten it. It looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, it did. By all accounts, everybody I know that tried it said it was real good. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough of my yakety yak. Because it's
talk
time.
back.
Yeah, don't talk back. It's time to get into all the good stuff. We like to feature it all in a segment that we affectionately like to call.
What's shaking, bacon?
I still love it.
It's the silliest of all segment intros. Yes, it is What's Shakin' Bacon. And Shakin' Bacon, it's all the stuff that's been shaken in the group, all little tidbits. We're going to start it out since we were just talking about how doomy November was and everything. It really was because, man, it went out, kicking and screaming. We've had
Took some people down with them.
Yeah, it took some people, unfortunately, down. We've had some sad passings. One of them was none other than Darth Vader himself, which is David Prowse. British actor David Prowse. Yeah, I mean, he was old. I mean, he was getting up there, and it's not like it was like, oh my God, he was only 40 or something like that. But still a shame. We've lost so much of the original cast.
Yeah, there's only a couple left, right?
Yeah.
Handful of them.
I saw
Not even.
somebody posted the picture in the group
Yeah.
with the original cast all together in their plain clothes and stuff. that had been taken back in like 1977, 78 or something like that, and they made all the ones who have deceased, they made them into Force ghosts.
Yeah.
It was really touching and sad,
Yep.
but especially sad to realize how much of them are gone. Because all that's left is
Luke and Solo, right?
Yeah, all that's left is Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Anthony Daniels. You know, C-3PO. That's it. Everybody else is gone.
Sad.
Forget her, man. She's gone. That's actually from a Bon Jovi video. Don't even get me started. Forget
boy.
her, man. She's gone. Anyway, hence the accent. But yeah, shame to hear about Prowse. He had been in a lot of stuff besides just Star Wars. He was in A Clockwork Orange. He had I think he was one of the Frankenstein monsters. He'd been in Hammer movies and stuff, along with other alumni from Star Wars like Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Love the Hammer movies, man. I'm all about that stuff. On another sad note, we lost a creator, a man who created a lot of the classic cartoons and stuff that I grew up with, and that was Ken Spears.
Yeah.
He was part of the whole, him with, was it Joe Ruby or Jim Ruby? I forget his name, something like that. Another Ruby. He was there's been a couple of different Rubies. I'm probably getting them wrong. It's like, that's the one that shot Lee Harvey Oswald. He didn't make Scooby-Doo. So anyway, together they did a company called Ruby Spears. You would see it, and they did Scooby-Doo. They did Fang Face. They did all that, a lot of that Hanna-Barbera stuff in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And everything, and he passed, so that's kind of depressing.
Yeah, it's part of our childhood gone.
Exactly, more, yeah. So you've got like my cartoons and Star
your
Wars,
movies.
and that's pretty rough. We're getting old.
Yep.
It's a bummer. Speaking of that, I know on a personal note for Vito, he lost somebody he admired very much, who was a writer.
Dr. Ben Bova.
Oh, I didn't know he was a doctor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my favorite science fiction author of all time. Yeah, that really sucks, dude. Like, he's like, any book that you read that, like, you have hope that, dude, we can, like, do this stuff and travel space and find life. It's like Ben Bova, like, made you believe that stuff, you know?
That's
but,
cool.
yeah, he was, I think, 88 when he passed.
Okay.
Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, so a good long life. But
Yeah, for
still,
sure.
Yeah, it's still disappointing. Yeah, we might talk about him a little more later.
I think so.
In the episode. Yeah, so shout it out to Mr. Bova, Mr. Spears, and Mr. Prowse. We salute you guys for everything you did and gave to everybody out there.
Mankind.
All of mankind and womankind.
And alien kind.
Yeah.
And alien kind and whatnot, but especially for us nerds and children of the 70s and 80s. You know, these were important people, so hats off to you. On a different, speaking of 80s, Predator has some news that Dan Trachtenberg has been tabbed to direct a new Predator movie.
Nice.
I don't know. They haven't really said anything about it yet, like in terms of what it's going to be about. I don't know if it's going to be a sequel to the Predator that we went and saw last year,
Have Arnold back.
or if it's going to be something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Man, I mean, again, we don't have to reiterate. If anybody's interested in hearing our review of the Predator movie from last year, we did a whole review on this channel, so feel free to go check it out. I fucking loved that movie.
It was amazing.
Dude, it was
really
incredible.
good.
That movie gets fucking ragged on by
Yeah.
people. Ragged on, and I don't get it.
Yeah, we go through this a lot.
I know. Well, especially sequel man over
Yeah.
here who tends to like a lot of the sequels that other people don't like. But I don't get it. So I've noticed a lot of people talking about this very warily,
Okay.
very shakily. Like there's not like people being like, "Wow, I'm so excited! There's going to be another Predator." People are like, "Uh-oh,
Really?
there's another."
I was kind of
Predator."
excited.
Yeah.
Of course, I love
Well,
the last
but-
one, so we love the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
All
I'm
right.
saying. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, all the plot details are being kept under wraps. But Patrick Eisen is to write the screenplay, and that's the only thing that anybody really knows yet is him, and that Dan Trachtenberg's going to direct it. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'd be cool. One that I don't know if you guys are all that familiar with. I have to admit, I forget about this next movie sometimes because it's been a while since I've seen it. But man, I loved it when I saw it, which was Constantine, that featured Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah, I've never seen that
Never
one.
saw it either.
Oh man, it is a fucking good ass movie.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, it's based off of a comic book series written by Francis Lawrence for DC called Hellblazer.
Okay.
And I've read Hellblazer in the past and stuff. I'm not as much of a DC guy as a Marvel guy, you know.
Yeah.
But
Who
Hellblazer.
is?
There's a lot of people out there, Vito. There's a lot of people. I've gotten into it with some people that are like, "Fucking DC just rules. Marvel fucking sucks. It's kiddie shit and everything."
Yeah, we just lost 20 subscribers now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I like them both. I very much like DC and Marvel both. I'm more of a Marvel guy though. It's just, you know, kind of the way I grew up. DC is definitely in a lot of ways, depending on what you read, especially stuff like Hellblazer or Preacher and stuff, their Vertigo titles are definitely more for like the mature reader, and especially if you're not into like superhero stuff.
Yeah.
You know, these aren't really superhero books. They're just more dealing with weird supernaturally kind of things and stuff. You know, Constantine is basically a biblical creature, and Keanu Reeves plays this character, and he's kind of undead. I don't know. It's a lot to explain. I can't explain the whole movie, but if you get a chance, definitely
Sounds
watch it.
interesting, at least.
Yeah, it's real fucking cool. It's dark. It's got some dark comedy in it and stuff. It's got Keanu Reeves in it, man.
Wasn't it like the first movie he did after the Matrix trilogy or something like that?
Yeah, it was right about that time.
Right?
Yes, yeah. And that was probably part of the problem too, is that it, you know, trying to live up to the Matrix and
Yes.
stuff. I like Constantine more than the Matrix.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the Matrix is more of an amazing movie
Yeah.
in terms of what it did and its effects. Like, this movie isn't quite like on that level or anything, but just in terms of the story and everything, for me personally, I like this more than The Matrix. You know what? If The Matrix had just been left to the one movie, I might not say that.
Yeah.
But those fucking
They
sequels
kind of ruined. Yeah.
kind of ruined it. And we'll see where they're going with that, because they're talking about coming out with a fourth one of those.
That's true. Yeah, I remember we were talking about that earlier this year or the end of last year or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
I still got to watch them all.
You've never seen any Matrix movies still?
Nope.
Holy shit.
Man, that first movie, Megan, like,
when that came out,
blew
that
my
was
fucking mind.
yeah,
I know it was big. I just was like,
game changing. I mean, so much of what all of us have come to accept as being the standard norm in movie making and stuff now started with The Matrix. You know, that's where it all came from. And now to the point where you watch The Matrix and it almost seems cliche because you're like, oh, they're doing the thing with the bullets and freezing in the air. But that started with The Matrix. So it
Right.
wasn't cliche. When you saw that for the first time, it was like, hot damn, how did they do that? You know,
And just the plot of the whole thing.
the plot was, yeah. I mean, to now where most of us, or many of us, or me, basically thinks that we're living in the Matrix because
Yeah.
it doesn't make any damn sense otherwise, I'll tell you. But anyway, they're going to come out with a sequel to this, supposedly. And I guess J.J. Abrams and Warner Brothers are thinking about doing this. It's not confirmed yet, but Keanu has said he is open to it.
Oh, cool.
So I think there's a good chance that it's going to happen. Speaking of sequels, another one I know that we're definitely going to be interested in, even though track record with things lately with Mr. Kevin Smith has been a little iffy.
oh, that last one was brutal.
Oh.
I still haven't made it through it. You
Oh.
Is
guys?
that the reboot?
Yes.
I
Yes.
haven't even started watching it. I
Dude.
know you guys are saying no.
I dare you.
Yeah, dare you. I want to see how far you get.
I dare you. Because I
think
know
I think
some
it's on
people.
Prime now for free or
Yeah.
whatever. So.
It should be.
Oh.
It should be free. I know some of our listeners have said they liked it. They really liked it and stuff.
We just got to power through it.
Maybe.
It can't get worse.
Oh, it could possibly get
I
worse.
don't know.
But I watched whatever was the first 30 minutes of it or something, and it was bad. It was
It was
so
brutal.
bad. I'm like, man, we do spoofs of Kevin Smith stuff, and it's better than this. Ugh, sorry. And I mean, I'm such a before we lose more subscribers. If you don't know, like, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan.
We did a whole thing on it.
Yeah, we did a whole episode about how much we fucking love and adore Kevin Smith, but
We were super excited about the reboot.
yeah, and I watched it, and I don't know. Well, anyway, on that note, he has confirmed that he is doing Mallrats 2. And
With
that
all the original staff, right? Or staff.
he
Cast.
cast.
Just
yeah.
the staff, not the actors.
Yeah.
Just
Not
camera guy, the DP dude. They're all back.
Everybody's there.
no tip, just the staff. Yeah,
stink hand the
Oh
cast.
boy. I don't know, but I mean, is that going to include Shannon Doherty? Because I thought she wasn't doing so great.
She's recovering.
Is she?
Yeah.
What's her
Okay.
deal?
She's in remission. She had cancer.
Oh,
I thought she was like really bad though.
I thought she was doing a little better
I don't
because it
know.
says she's on board.
Good. I mean, I'm happy because to me, it's not Mallrats without her.
Maybe a small
Yeah.
on board.
Well, and I heard that like Affleck said he very much wants to be in it, but he doesn't want it to just be like a little cameo like he's done in recent years, where
Okay,
he's only
really?
in there for like a minute or 2 minutes, like he was in
'Cause
Clerks
he
2
hasn't really
and other
done
things.
anything else.
Yeah, well, besides Batman,
he was
and all
Batman.
that.
I was gonna say.
He
I
was a
liked him as Batman.
I haven't even watched him as
fucking
Batman.
liked him as Batman. So anyway, that's another. We everybody at home's like, wow, these people totally differ because like they like Predator and they like him as Batman, but they didn't like Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Yeah, that's fucking true, and I'm standing by it. I liked him as Batman. The movies were flawed, but anyway, yeah. So I'm curious to see it. Mallrats is my favorite of all of them, so it better be good.
Yeah, again, it's supposed to be like another Bill and Ted kind of thing where it's.
Oh, dude, that movie was fucking garbage.
Did
Was
you watch it?
Oh, I
Dude.
didn't see it yet.
I think, yeah, we watched like a few weeks ago, dude.
It was as bad as you thought it was
Terrible.
going to be.
Yeah, it was awful.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame because again, I mean, I enjoyed the Bill and Ted movies back when they came out, but I was that target age, like we mentioned before.
Yeah.
I was like late teens, early 20s. If I try to watch Bill and Ted now, I'm like, this is pretty stupid. It's pretty bad. A lot of things that I thought was so cool at the time, I'm like, okay, yeah, I've grown up now, So I have hesitated to watch that new Bill and Ted movie, and I've mostly not heard. I've either heard like it's bad or it's okay.
Okay.
That seems to be the most. I'll watch it eventually.
So this one is Brody and then his daughter.
Hmm.
And then I guess the mall's failing. So it's like everything that Brody always bitched about in the first movie has come to be true. So he's never had to really grow up. But in this movie, is he going to have to grow up?
I don't know, man. Last time he tried to do something with like a daughter, that was when we got Jersey Girl, and we know how that went. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I'll give it a chance, but I don't know, Kev.
Just like reboot. It's come on, we can do this. We can do better.
Speaking of reboots, how do you get better than the original? So supposedly Stephen King's son Joe Hill really is lobbying for a reboot of a classic. I can't even say that. Wants a reboot of a classic Stephen King story and film known as Maximum Overdrive.
Dude, why, man? Why?
Oh God.
Like, who wants that? Who wants that? I mean, think about this, people. Even Vito is saying why. Now, if you knew about some of the things that Vito likes and watches and everything, because they're like,
yeah, I thought you'd be down for this.
No,
Joe Hill and
I can't stand that Maximum Overdrive movie. I just can't. I don't know. It just. Oh.
He made you.
oh, it's so bad.
And
movie's
Emilio
bad.
Estevez is crawling through that sewer tunnel, and then the truck's mirror turns. So
Right.
it's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Why would you do that? That's so fucking dumb. And I like dumb shit, but that was just like, I couldn't even handle that, man.
What if they did it with
Wow.
like big tanks?
No. And wasn't the idea like a meteor was coming across the earth and it like did
Kind
something
of,
with the
yeah.
electromagnetism or something?
Which was funny because that was also so much like Night of the Comet.
I was just going to say, right?
like the movie Night of the Comet, which we will talk about one of these days. I love that movie. And that's even far-fetched too, but that's more like mine and Vito's kind of far-fetched. Like, yeah, Maximum Overdrive is so bad. Fuck, I hated that movie. Hated that movie. So, yeah, sorry, Joe Hill. I love you. I love your dad. I love a lot of Stephen King stuff. We don't need no Maximum Overdrive. That being said, maybe he's got an idea. Maybe he's like,
Maybe he can fix it.
Right. Maybe he's got ideas like, okay, there's a nugget of gold in here that we could possibly, do something with. I don't see how, but
And I haven't read Joe Hill's books, so I'm not sure like what his caliber is or what he's kind of into. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Maybe it could be cool. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Know. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to other things, there have been some confirmed appearances and stuff that I'm pretty excited about. And one thing that I think all three of us are like, we're all into Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
I still haven't watched all of it, but I saw the first season. Yeah, I
God.
know. I know.
Whoa.
Dude.
Because my thing is, dude, if I sit and watch the first episode of season 2, that's all I'm going to do for the next 2 weeks of my life.
But it's
just,
worth
I
it.
know, but
the show gets better and better,
I
man.
really enjoyed the last season.
Yeah.
Season 3, especially for you, the things you're into, because you're so into 80s and you're so into like weird military conspiracy stuff and different, and oh my God, and weird experimental,
Weird
fucked up deaths in this.
Is there acid deaths going on?
Not exactly acid
No.
death, but
Acid.
it's you just
All
gotta
right.
watch. I'm not gonna
Okay.
give it away.
Yeah.
But dude, season 3 is for you,
Yeah.
man. You gotta watch it. Gotta watch it. Season 2 was good too, but out of all three, season 2,
3.
Yeah.
out of all three, season 2 was probably my least favorite.
I
But
think
it's
I've heard a
still
lot of
good.
people say that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, season 2 is my least favorite. There's just some stuff that I felt like I was like, I don't care about this. But there's great stuff too. Season 3 fucking rules. But speaking of that, so Robert Englund has been confirmed to be in Stranger Things season 4.
nice.
And we all, for people at home, if they don't know who Robert Englund is, that is Freddy motherfucking Krueger.
He was also a Knight Rider too. I was looking at the camera like I'm going to tell the camera because we're not even
Yeah,
filming this episode.
Larry was doing that earlier.
Yeah,
Habit, sorry.
yeah.
I catch myself doing it too.
He was also, was it Willie? Was that his name on V?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was Willie.
Yeah, I think it was Willie. He was in V. That's where I first knew him from. It was fucked up for me because I saw V first. You know, I saw that when that came out. Like me and my parents were all into V. And then Freddy Krueger came out, and it was like, oh, it's that nice guy from V. And then I watched the
I
first
was like,
night.
whoa, that's not the nice guy from me.
I watched the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, holy Christ.
What'd he do to Johnny Depp?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Robert Englund's going to portray a character named Victor Creel, who's, as they describe, is a disturbed and intimidating man.
Mm.
And he's imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital for gruesome murders that he performed back in the 1950s. So
That sounds interesting.
that does sound interesting. That's an interesting spin to put into Stranger Things.
Yeah. I
Like,
can't wait.
That's all promising.
Does it say when it's coming out?
Does not say
Oh,
when it's
damn.
coming out. I know.
I'm going to guess Halloween 2021 maybe.
Hopefully.
Probably, or at least maybe by summer.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it came out in the summertime, you know. But with the way everything is nowadays, who the fuck knows?
True.
But all we know is whenever you come out with Stranger Things season 4, we will be there and ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of like the whole who the fuck knows, because the way things have been lately and stuff, I guess the Oreo cookie company, or Nabisco, Oreos, is a way to take a jump. We go from Stranger Things and Nightmare on Elm Street to Oreo cookies. Oh, but wait for it, folks. Oreos have built themselves a Doomsday vault.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so they were inspired by the Global Seed Vault.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, you get it. Like we worry about if the end of the world comes, we need to save like things so we can regrow, we can replant all this stuff. So Oreo was like, hold my cookie. You know, they were like, hold my glass of milk. We're gonna do you one more. We're gonna make a vault where we're going to store a shit fuck ton of Oreo cookies. Because if the end of the world comes, we want to know that we still can eat Oreos.
It's very important.
I guess it is, yeah. The seed vault actually holds almost 1 million different types of seeds from around the world. That great, you know,
Yeah.
like that's very smart. No, we need 1 million Oreo cookies.
Well, they have so many different flavors now. There's double stuffed, there's triple stuffed, there's different flavors.
Yeah.
It's
To be a-
very important.
Every time I go to
Yeah.
Jewel, I'm always looking for the new Oreo flavor that they got on the shelf. So
See?
Yeah, to be fair, I've been triple stuffed with Oreos lately too, because all the extra Oreos we had left over from Friendsgiving and stuff, I ate all of them.
You okay. 2 packages, dude.
I know. Well,
I made Oreo pies, and they got into it, so I had to go buy another one.
Yeah.
And you
I
ate the
know.
rest of it. There was a lot left in that package.
Yeah, there was. I ate a lot of them.
Megan, are you telling us you've never ate an entire package of Oreo cookies in a single sitting before?
I would throw up.
I think anybody would, but
Yeah. Maybe I would. Yeah. Megan, you're going to tell us you've never eaten an entire package of beef jerky in a single sitting before you even got home from the store? Uh-huh.
I can't say that now. That also made me throw up. But it was worth it.
Yeah. She's gone to the store. It was like, she told me, she's like, yeah, I bought a big bag of Jack Link's beef jerky so that she's got something to snack on for a few days. She ate the whole bag by the time she got home.
A 15-minute drive.
I was just going to say, she only lives 15 minutes away.
I really like jerky, guys.
Well, we need to tell them to make a jerky vault for you.
They really do. I will live there. And then they won't have a jerky vault anymore.
Oh, gosh.
I was going to say,
Just be a vault.
there's a James Rollins novel. I believe it's called The Doomsday Key, where they go into that seed
Yeah.
vault.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, that's
yes, they
cool.
do.
Well, now they could write a book where they go into the Oreo vault. And the heroes just become fat gluttons
Yeah.
who can't save the
We
world.
need to post that on his fan page
Yeah,
because
for
they're
sure.
always posting things like you should put this in your. Yep, we're putting the Oreo vault on there.
There you go.
That's a good idea. You never know.
You never know. We will die. That would be so awesome.
Wouldn't it?
We'll go to science like we said that.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. Thank you.
That was our idea. Speaking of vaults and storing things and stuff like that, so I guess Megan, you I think know more about this than we do. They found a whole bunch of whiskey.
They sure did. So this guy, they bought a house. And they lived in it for a while. And they kept getting stories that the prior owner, the original owner, was a prohibition runner.
Smuggler guy. Okay.
Smuggler guy, yeah. And I'm like, I don't believe it. Whatever. Just stories and stuff like that. And then they started doing a remodel. And the base of their house, they took it off to, put new stuff to keep your house warm.
Mm-hmm. Insulation,
There you
that's it. And take it out. And he said he saw this hay and everything. And then he saw look like a bottle glass or something like that. And he dug it out. And it's a bottle of this whiskey.
Okay.
Prohibition-era whiskey.
Nice.
And he kept finding all these bottles. He's like, he found 1, found 2, found 4, or whatever. He's like, oh, that's weird. Okay. Interesting. And then they keep remodeling other parts of the house, and they keep finding more in all these different walls.
Wow.
They're up to 66 bottles of whiskey.
66 bottles of whiskey in the wall. 66 bottles of whiskey.
Instead of on the wall, it's in the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
They're going to keep one bottle, obviously, and then put others in museums and stuff like that. But they're...
Okay.
And sell the other what's in the bottle to people and make because it's $1,200 or something like that. It's a good chunk of change that they can get off these bottles.
Wow.
Dude, I've seen bottles like that at Benny's, in the glass case. They're $3,500, $1,200.
Yeah.
You're like, why would you spend that much money on liquid, dude?
I know. That's something you're literally
It's
going to piss
history.
out 2 hours
Seriously.
later.
And they may not even drink it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact they have it because a lot of the bottles he said were evaporated or empty. It's just the bottles left.
I
Yeah.
guess I can't really say anything, Vito, because you're looking at a guy who spends a lot of money on records that don't get played because I don't want to break the plastic on the vinyl records.
Yeah, but would you
Yeah.
spend $3,500 for a vinyl record?
Okay,
Depends.
so if it was
Yes.
If it
the answer
was-
is yes.
if it was an original pressing of the Beatles Yesterday and Today with the Butcher cover on it, and I had $3,500 to spend,
Just to blow.
yeah, and I could actually get my hands on that record, especially if it was still sealed and all that stuff. Yes, I would.
See.
But that's a rare exception. That's one of the only ones I could think of that I would actually do.
I guess it's all relative to how much, let's say you earned $1 million a year. You would blow $3,500 on a bottle of whiskey, no problem.
right.
You know?
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what year it is.
Yeah.
You blow it. So.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess the difference is, and what I'm talking about with this is, for me, is I would buy that, right? But I could get that record to open and play and listen to. I can listen to the music. You know what I mean? So I could still, I understand preserving the one and everything because I can get what's on it elsewhere.
Mhm.
Same with like an expensive toy or a comic book. You know, if I wanted to read it, I can read it. But it's like with that whiskey or wine or whatever it is, if you don't drink it, I mean, you don't even know if it's good. I mean, it's just old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've heard stories of people that have actually gone and like cracked old bottles of very expensive alcohol, and then they drank it and they were like, it was actually
Terrible.
really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, we were better off not drinking it because, you know.
I think it's just to say you have it.
I know
it's
it's
bragging
history.
rights, I
It's
guess,
bragging rights,
yeah.
yeah. So anyway, that made me wonder if there's anybody out there that's found other cool shit in their house from time to time. Bound to happen, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. And the reason it popped in my head is because it said that my house was owned by Al Capone
Mhm.
and his henchmen, and that there's a tunnel connected to the golf course by our house to our house as an escape route from the cops.
Hey,
We
have you
keep-
found this tunnel?
We have not, but it's kind of weird because I did a lot of trimming on this big ass bush in our yard this summer, and underneath it is this concrete pad, and we have I don't know what's in there. I was like, we don't know what this is. It's whatever this is. We think it would be is somewhere else.
Wait, hang on a second. Hang on. I've got somebody's calling on the phone. Wait, who is this? Holy shit, it's Geraldo Rivera.
I was gonna say that motherfucker was gonna call.
Geraldo Rivera is on the phone for you, Megan Guess, and he wants to come over to your house. He's like, God damn it, I'm going to redeem myself one day. The vault was a bust, but maybe the guest house is the way to go. Yeah.
So
I wonder if
I
you
don't
could.
know. It's kind of cool.
What if you could rent one of those like sonar ground penetrating radar
Sure,
machines?
you can.
and
Yeah,
do
because
that
they do it all the time for
Right.
landscaping and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
to see if you got anything underneath there. That'd
Yeah,
be,
and we did kind of go roaming over by the golf course.
Mhm.
Like there, you go over the road, under the road, and on
Over
the other
the
side
river, through the
woods to Grandma's house.
Yeah.
And down the other side, it's like a huge ravine.
uh-huh.
And we kind of walk down in there, and there's this like old well house that has this big opening that goes over to that golf course. Like maybe that's another
Could be.
exit. It was kind of cool. I don't know. I'm just saying shit, but
Yeah. Okay.
it's kind of cool. So I just wonder if anybody else has found something cool in their house.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, if anybody out there has got any cool stories or tidbits to add to this, man, we would love to know because that's the kind of stuff we love to talk about
Yeah.
on this channel.
We love conspiracies and theories.
Sure as hell do.
Especially when you put them together, they become conspiracy theories.
Wow.
Wow.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
And I think it is about time that we get into a little bit of squad talk.
Talk of the squad.
Always talking to the squad. You can just talk to the squad, mister. And
Taking my squad and going home.
yeah, I'm gonna exactly. You keep your squad to yourself. And here's the interesting thing. Like, squad talk is usually based on something that we really want to delve more into. And when this story first came out, I think this would have at best just been a shake and bacon segment.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, oh, it's interesting, but whatever. Plenty of things that we can do to just dispel this is some silly prank. But then the plot thickened. And what we were talking about, I'm sure many of you are familiar with it, was the fact that just recently a monolith of sorts
Mm-hmm.
showed up in a quiet canyon in Utah, in Red Rock country.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing people think of when they see this is they think of 2001 Space
Right.
Odyssey
Mhm.
because of the monoliths that are put there by
Who
whomever.
knows?
God or aliens or alien gods or whatever it is. So this just showed up. The interesting thing about it showing up, they were actually counting sheep, which is a joke in and of itself. And no, that doesn't mean they were sleeping.
Better not. They were in a helicopter.
Yeah, it was like Department of Safety or something like that. One of the bureaus. They were helping out with wildlife resources, trying to count sheep that were going through this valley and everything. So they know how many are out there. These bighorn sheep. That's what they're actually called. I'm not just being saying like you fucking bighorn sheep. Back in like November 18th, and they spotted this monolith because it was all shiny and reflective. And the thing is they have no idea who put it there. And yeah,
It's on government land, isn't it? So it shouldn't have any reason to be there
right. That's even
without prior knowledge.
right. That's even more the point, is that it's not like anybody is supposed to be able to get in there and go there, and it's actually illegal.
Right.
Whoever put this there, whatever man, woman, or being put this there, technically broke the law. So it's kind of precarious, that this is there. And, of course, for all us geeks, it got our minds racing like, oh, man. Well, but, most people pointed out and obviously said, oh, obviously somebody put it there just to be funny, or maybe it's some sort of art project or something. There was different theories about it and everything. A lot of people blew it off. And then the plot thickened because after, what was it, about
About 5 days.
yeah, something like that.
So it was found on a Monday, and this new one popped up on a Thursday.
Right. So right about the time that the one that was found in Utah suddenly disappeared, they don't know who removed it.
Nope. Again, government land. Not supposed to be there. How do you not?
And they're aware of it now.
Like, you're putting cameras on the bitch.
Yeah, they're aware of the damn thing now. So you would think they would have maybe been keeping a closer eye on it, but somehow it disappeared. And right about that same time, another monolith appeared in, I think,
Romania.
yeah,
On a
Romania.
hilltop in Romania.
Yeah, it appeared in Romania, where the monolith lands on you. But yeah, so all of a sudden now one shows up in Romania. All right.
Again, on forbidden land, because it's like sacred land or something, where they had to have prior permission to put anything there.
Yeah. So, in all honesty, what do you guys think? What do you think of this?
I think it's just some kind of prank, obviously, that someone is pulling on us for some reason. I think that the Romanian guys could possibly be a copy where they're trying to get some fame by copying this guy that did it in Utah for some reason. Or maybe these two countries are in cahoots for some reason, which...
They got best buds.
Yeah.
It could be.
Or they're filming 2061 Odyssey 3 soon, and this is like a big publicity stunt to kick off the movie.
I'd be pretty excited about that, actually. I'd love to see them do 2061 with that fucking space elevator thing, escalator, or whatever it was. Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't know. There were people that had theorized that it was the work of this one sculpture artist because it resembled his stuff.
Okay.
This guy John McCracken. Jesus.
Sorry, John, but dude, get a different last name, brother.
The dude died. Right?
Oh, sorry.
Let loose McCracken. Oh, we're sorry. So disrespectful. He died in 2011, but he lived in New Mexico and stuff. And the gallery that represents him originally said, yeah, we think that this is one of his, but now they've changed their mind and they don't. They don't think that it's him.
And they don't know when this was put there. They just happened to find it when they were counting the sheep.
Yeah.
So it could have been there for a while, right? Possibly.
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, there's so...
Yeah, because in that picture, I didn't really notice the ground disturbed, but it was the desert, too.
Yeah.
Where in this new one, you could obviously see the ground was disturbed.
Like somebody dug a hole and put this in there or something?
Yeah, very sloppily. It kind of looks like it like shot up out of the ground the way this dirt's all splayed all over the place. Exactly.
I don't know.
It could be Southwest Airlines putting up new destinations for us. That was amazing. Thank you, Matt, for that one.
Yeah, I mean there are some rumors, I guess. There's some people that are claiming that they saw people go in there to move it and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know if any of it's been like substantiated.
It's like in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? So how do people just on forbidden land, government land?
Yeah, how do you
just see somebody go in there?
Or how do you even bring it in there? I'm sure that thing weighs a ton. You know?
Well, that's the one guy was trying to claim that somebody went in with a few vehicles in there and like they dismantled it or something like that.
No. Unless it's people from the future sending us back something to give us a vaccine for something, kind of like a made-for-TV movie that was based on a hit 70s movie. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoil the ending.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, there's different theories and stuff, but
it's aliens.
Especially as far as the copycat one in Romania. That one really...
That's what piqued my interest. The other one's like, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. But when the other one popped up, at the same time the other one disappeared, I was like, that's some planning.
I'm hoping for one in Moldova. That's what I'm hoping for.
We're going to pop up next?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. So, do I think it's aliens? No. I doubt it. For one thing... they've already said that this thing was put together with like screws and rivets and stuff. So it definitely seems like it's, earth-made, man-made kind of thing. But I'm just more curious about who is doing this and why. Like is it simply an art project, or is it supposed to be like delivering some sort of message to us? Like is there going to be more, like are these things going to start popping up in other places? Is it going to be like a whole
way to unite the world?
Maybe. Or are people just going, it's 2020 and,
This is the last thing we need. Come on.
It's 2020, so were you people really surprised if monoliths show up? Because that was the first thing I thought when I saw it, is I was like,
of course.
Yeah, it's about right.
This year's been an entire test.
We failed.
What's going to happen next?
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. If it is all a hoax and everything, I think it's kind of cool. Just like the buried treasure hunts.
Right.
And stuff like that. It's just something for us to talk about and think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the whole planning aspect. If it is a hoax, like how they got this together, erected it, then the one in Romania showed up just around the same time. And that's cool.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's just odd that the other one just happened to be found. So it's like, are these connected? Were these done? Like you said, were there people that is this part of like a group that's doing this? Is there, who the fuck knows? I don't know, but I'll be interested to see if any more of these things pop up. And I definitely want to see if anybody out there has any insights or theories on it. Is there any connections to certain other artists besides Old McCracken that does stuff like this, or any like groups out there that do things like this? And like, what if people just started like making like Easter Island type like statue head things, and then like randomly, like if one of those just showed up in like Norway? I think it'd be a cool idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like, holy shit.
Instead of terrorist groups, it's anti-terrorist groups.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. You gonna say it?
Time will tell.
There you go.
What do you suggest?
All right, we're getting into the home stretch now on the Squadcast, and here is the moment where we suggest what we think you should check out with the "What do you suggest?" bit. And Vito, I think you're going to refer back to something that we talked about earlier, appropriately enough.
Yeah, so Ben Bova passed a couple days ago, so I am going to suggest the book that made me a Ben Bova fan, which is his novel Mars, which came out actually in 1992. I recently reread this book probably a year ago, and it still holds up to me. I know it's almost 30 years old, so some of the information and stuff is a little bit outdated, but just the whole concept of it and the tension that's in the book very much lives up to something you would read today.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So definitely check out Mars from Ben Bova.
Cool.
And then from there, continue his Grand Tour series, which basically takes you through all the planets in our solar system.
Oh,
There's
that's
a whole
cool.
there's an entire timeline and back history that rivets back to Mars, and stuff that happens in Mars gets carried on over, and it's fucking cool as hell, man.
Nice.
Definitely check it out. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's worth checking out. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Awesome. Megan, do
Mhm.
you have a suggestion?
I am going to suggest a Facebook group
Okay.
that I recently just purchased a one Bones McCoy cardboard cutout to go with our Spock in the studio.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. I like him. But that is called Thrill of the Hunt.
Yep.
And I've always seen them post really cool shit on their toys and collectibles, all kinds. They do everything. You know, they're at one of my favorite resale shops that I love going to. They got 2 buildings now.
Nice.
So, yeah, I really like their group. And I know Larry knows a little bit more about them.
Yeah. Those guys, they're Richard Dean and all those guys, and my buddy that recently passed, Mad Brad, had been involved with them and everything. It's a cool like group for collectors and stuff, and people that like to go around checking out different auctions and yard sales and different things like that, and people post in
They're
their
finds.
finds. Basically, it's the thrill of the hunt. Exactly. And it's not just about any one thing. I mean, they focus a lot on toys and stuff, which of course I love. They also focus on records and antique stuff, furniture, anything that's kitschy and collectible, and things you might find at yard sales and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you want to go and talk about that with people, they also do a thing like every week where they ask like, what are you specifically looking for, and you can post like your top 5 things you're looking for right now. So like, say for me, like for example, if I'm like, oh, I really want to find the Weebles haunted house, you know, because that's one of my holy grail toys that I want, you know, that I want really bad. I post that on there. Somebody might pop in and be like, hey man,
I got that.
I've got that. I'm looking to sell it or trade it. Or they might be like, oh, I know that at the Crown Point, you know, antique mall, that somebody there has got it right now, and you should go. You know, it's a really good source for that. So yeah, that's an awesome
Yeah, I really love them.
Yeah, and the people at Thrill the Hunt that maintain that group on Facebook and stuff are good people.
Yeah.
Some of them are metalheads like me and everything, you know, like Mad Brad was, rest in peace. Speaking on the metal, the hard rock and metal tip, my suggestion this week is for people to check out the new AC/DC album. I know some people love them, some people don't. Some people are just kind of like, it's okay. Dude, this new AC/DC album is called Power Up.
Power Up.
Power Up. Yep. It's a perfect name for one of their, you know, they had Power Age and all that kind of Power Up. Dude, this is, I can't say it's a return to form because AC/DC's always
They are just return to form.
They're just, they are the form. They're always the form. But this is probably the most solid throughout album that they've done in 30 years or more.
Wow.
I would put Power Up right. You know, maybe it's because it's like fresh and new, like a brand new baby. You know, it's like you're super enthusiastic about it. I'll see how I feel about it down the
3
line.
months.
Yeah, could be.
Damn this baby.
Sick of this baby. Yeet. But I'll see how I feel down the line. But right now, as it stands, this album would easily be in my top 10 of AC/DC albums, if not. Maybe I don't know about top 5, but it's real fucking good. And the thing about this that's special about it is the fact that they got most of the classic lineup, post Bon Scott lineup back. They got Brian Johnson back. Some people might remember Brian Johnson was out for a while. That's when they had Axl Rose singing for him live and all this stuff, because Brian was having all these hearing problems and stuff like that. He's back. Apparently, he's got that under control. He sounds great. I know some people don't care for AC/DC's style of vocal, but even that, I mean, even me, I don't always like the shrill vocal thing. I think like age is good for his voice. Like it's been sort of like subtilized in a way, made more subtle from age and all that kind of stuff. I actually really love the vocals on this album. and there's diversity in it. It's really good. And the other thing is the fact that this is the first time they've done something without Malcolm Young, because Malcolm Young passed.
Yeah.
And I mean, he kind of was AC/DC in terms of like he was the dude, like he was the glue, and he wrote the music and stuff, most of it, a lot of it. So how an AC/DC album without Malcolm Young was going to be was real iffy. But they replaced him with their nephew, Stevie, so it's still a Young in there. You know, he was raised on, he's got the DNA, and goddamn, they came back with a great album. This album's so good. It's like, it doesn't have some like modern production. It's not tricky. It's not clever. It's just catchy.
No drop C stuff.
No. There's no gent. There's no trip hop. There ain't nothing going on in there. It is just
good old standard E.
Yeah, it's
blues riffs and A, and you got it going.
Yeah, they had Brendan O'Brien, who's a great producer, came in and produced it, and he knew exactly what to do. Just super solid, man. Like, especially if you're just aching for some new but classic rock and roll. Like, and it's hard to put it across the way I want to put it across, but basically, it's like we needed this record. This record needed to end this shitty year. You know what I mean? It's just a feel good rock and roll driving in your car, you know, like forget all the bullshit. There's no politics. There's no nothing. So yeah, great record. AC/DC Power Up. It's available pretty much everywhere.
All right. To check it out.
And so at this point is when we usually, before we go, we like to recommend some kind of like podcast or YouTube channel or something like that, that you know, because it's not just about us. As much as we want
Share
you
the
guys,
love.
as much as we want you guys to be into us, there's a lot of stuff we enjoy and a lot of stuff that we are inspired by and all that kind of stuff. And there's one show called Geekly Goods that's on YouTube. The guy's name's Leo. And he does content. A lot of it's kind of like what we do. You know, he likes to talk about movies, TV, games, anime, and stuff. Does some really cool videos about. He's also another one who's doing a weekly thing about the Mandalorian and everything. He's crazy. Leo never sleeps, man, because he posts stuff all the time. Like Mandalorian will come out, and then like an hour later, he's already got like his thoughts formed. He's putting videos up and stuff and everything. And he's on it. So yeah, Geekly Goods. You can find them on YouTube and stuff. Check him out. He's a somewhat new show. He's only been around just barely 2 years, so he's kind of like us and everything. And he's a good guy, good show. Definitely check it out, everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
You have to.
Yeah. So with that, I think it is time to say adieu. So long.
Fare thee well.
Farewell. Adieu. Auf Wiedersehen. You know,
sayonara,
yeah, sayonara. Yeah, it's time for us to get out of here. As always, thank you so much for listening and watching, and you know, just checking out everything we do with Geeking Squad and Geeking Poetic. We will be back soon. We want to hear more from you.
Leave your comments below.
Yeah,
And make sure you like and subscribe.
And ring that bell.
Yep. So you get every notification so you can hear everything we have to say.
Every single thing. You know, when Vito talks, you listen. You understand? So we'll be back soon. We'll be back with episode 13, I guess. It'll be 13. Time for that.
Start teenage years.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be, oh gosh, we'll be out of our tweens and into our teens. This show's gonna get all pimply and greasy and attitudey and talking back.
Be all angsty and
humping pillows, all that stuff.
Keep eye on your socks.
Yeah. All right, everybody, we'll be back soon. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.